Ladies and gentlemen, guys and girls, my name is Reavyne and welcome back to my channel. And in today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys my opinion and commentary on everything that happened last night with the E3 Ubisoft conference thing. And we got a whole bunch of shit for Honor, and I'm really fucking excited for when all of this drops in October. Now, first things first, I get to do a little bit of bragging because in the past, I've put out a few videos on a certain couple of topics and I copped a whole bunch of shit and I copped a whole bunch of hate from some people in this community. They called me every name under the sun. They called me a fuckhead. They said I was full of shit. They said a whole bunch of stuff. All my ideas they said would never happen, not going to be a thing. And I just got a ton of shit. Now, what exactly am I talking about? So, over a year and a bit ago, I put out a video talking about a possible siege mode coming into this game. Once again, people said it was never going to happen and I was full of shit, but since then, for the longest time, I've been talking about a siege mode. And over a year and a bit ago, I put out another video talking about a brand new faction coming into the game. Now, I talked about a mercenary faction, which I still think would be better because we will get, you know, more options in terms of heroes and stuff. But once again, I was still talking about a brand new faction and everyone's like, no, we'll break the trilogy, all that sort of crap. And once again, I got a whole bunch of hate and people just fucking yelled at me a bunch. So for the longest fucking time, I've been talking about those two things, and lo and behold, what did they show revealed to us last night? That's right, we're getting a brand new faction, and it's a Chinese faction, which is really cool. We'll talk about that in a minute. And we're also getting that goddamn siege mode. Thank fuck. And another side note, which I also sort of kind of made videos on, was I put out a video talking about possible samurai heroes, and in that video I had a monk character which I fully detailed using a bow staff and everything, who martial arts beating people up. That got introduced into the game and announced. And I also talked about a Chinese heavy type warrior. I called mine the Red Dragon, and he had like this massive red ornate armor. We basically got that just without the red ornate armor because in the Chinese faction there is a heavy Chinese hero that uses a spear, and once again in my video I said the guy uses a spear, and people yelled at me because like it's too much like Nabushi. Well, guess what? It's in the game now. Like I said, you can make it work. So I have no idea if any of the devs from Ubisoft watch my videos, but after like this massive E3 reveal, I'm starting to think at least someone over there is maybe watching a couple of my videos and taking some notes or something, and some ideas. Who fucking knows? Because pretty much all the things I've been talking about for the longest fucking time and make videos about this still on the channel. You can go and check them out now if you want. But yeah, it seems like these things I've been talking about for a very long time are now in the game come October. And to everyone who was hating me and throwing shit at me and basically just abusing me in my previous videos when I talked about this stuff, I expect an apology done in that comment section, yeah? But with that out of the way, let's start talking about some of the things that we actually were shown, and we're going to start off with the trailer that showed us the brand new Chinese faction. Now, in my previous E3 speculation video, I talked about the fact that there was going to be either a pirate hero, there was going to be a Persian/Ottoman hero, there was going to be a Mongolian or Hun hero, or a Chinese hero when we were talking about the heroes that were going to be involved from that little trailer we got with the sword. I also talked about the fact that we might be getting a brand new faction and that siege mode. But I will fully admit right now, I was leaning more towards it being a Persian/Ottoman hero because of the desert sand sort of background. I was hoping in my heart it was going to be a pirate because the two main characters I really fucking want in this game is a pirate and a Spartan. So my wishful thinking was a pirate, and we still might get that, we don't know. But the more likelihood was going to be a, you know, Ottoman Persian type hero. But after that, my next logical choice, of course, was that Chinese hero. And it turns out they went with the China thing, they went with the Chinese faction, and that trailer, I have to say, was goddamn fucking beautiful. The music fit perfectly, the way it slowed everything down, and she was like, you know, walking through. I literally got tears in my eyes and I was like close to fucking crying like a bitch because it just fucking overwhelmed me. And as soon as she walked out and we saw, like, you know, the dragon, I knew straight away, I'm like, they're going fucking China. As soon as I saw that dragon, I was fist pumping the air and everything. It was fucking gorgeous. And I said in my speculation video that they were maybe going to show 2 heroes, maybe 4, and, like, you know, go that sort of direction. They actually showed us all 4 of them, and it blew my mind that they actually showed us all 4 of them in this whole trailer. The way that they did it was absolutely perfect. And to date, I think this is one of the best trailers that Ubisoft have done. The previous ones were really cool, but the way that everything just meshed together and the way at the end it kicked in with all the Chinese heroes kicking ass, it just worked perfectly. And on top of that, I'm pretty damn sure that they said we're going to have new face customization option type things. So if that's the case, that also lends to what I said in my speculation video that we might be getting the fact that you can now remove the helmets on all the older heroes. So we can, you know, have a peacekeeper running around with an actual face and stuff, because like the Ubisoft said in the past, they have the technology for that now. And of course with Shaman, Aramusha, all the newer heroes, Highlander, they actually have the faces showing. And in the trailer they had the Warden. She takes off her helmet, she's walking around, she looks good, the face doesn't look retarded. Overall, it's an awesome thing to add to the game customization wise. Another thing they talked about, which I think is really cool, is the fact that they're going to be giving the game away for free on PC to everyone. You can just download it off Uplay and just get the game, which is really cool. And this was a very smart move for Ubisoft to do, because it's going to give everyone a chance to just jump in and see how much the game has evolved and how good the game has gotten, especially now these new heroes are going to be added, the roster's going to be filled out even more. We've got this brand new faction, we've got the siege mode, a bunch of the older characters have had their reworks. Yes, there are still a bunch that still need a rework. Speaking of that, Warden, in the other video I showed where they showed the gameplay footage of the siege mode and they showed the brand new heroes, you know, from the Chinese faction, showing off some of their moves in that gameplay footage. The Warden has a top unblockable. Okay, I just had to throw that in there. They showed a bit of the Warden rework and, you know, they got that top unblockable and stuff. I'd love to see what else they put in there. But yeah, the fact that they're going to have these brand new people jumping in for free to try out the game, it's really going to get people to stick to it, because, you know, it's one thing to say, hey, we had a rough launch, but buy the game now. And most people are going to be like, yeah, nah, fuck that. But if you go, we had a rough launch, and to, you know, show you how good the game's gotten, we're giving it to you for free, that's a good way to go about it, and that's how you get players coming back to the game. Very well done, Ubisoft there. Next up, before I start talking about the actual Chinese heroes and what I think of them, we're going to talk about what I think of the siege mode. And finally, I've been waiting for this, like I said, for fucking so long. I am so goddamn happy they're finally putting this thing in. And the way that they did it in several phases was pretty much what I said in my previous video, like a year a bit ago. I said it'd be really cool if it's in several phases. You gotta, like, you know, breach the walls first, and then you gotta fight off in the courtyard and stuff, and then get to the king's room. And once you get to the king's room, you gotta kill the king. I said all this in my video ages ago, and people talked about it in the comments section. And what do we have? We have that. So you initially have to breach the first wall, okay, and then once you breach that wall, you gotta do the second part, and then you gotta get to the king and kill the king. And mind you, that king, the Warden guy, looks fucking awesome. I really hope we get that armor in game, and I really hope that that means we're going to be getting new armor for everyone, because it's been a while since we've had brand new armor. So if we actually get brand new armor as well with this October update thing, it's going to be crisp. But they nailed the siege fantasy, how you got the ballistas on there. I know people hate them, but they're fun to use. You got the fact that you can dump oil on people. I said you could do that in my video. That's a freaking awesome addition. Going to be dumping oil on people for days. You can actually destroy the battering rams. That's a really cool idea, and I like that they've added that in there, because you got to protect the battering ram. I also said ages ago in my previous siege mode video that they already have the implementation of, you know, the battering ram staying with it so it moves up, because they had that in the campaign when the game first launched. So the technology was already there, and I'm really happy to see that they've put that into the new siege mode. So you got to stick with this thing to move it up, to get it to the door, to beat down this door. You got to protect it, in other words. That's a really nice addition, because it involves teamwork, and it also involves, like, you know, the enemy team trying to defend, having to try and stop you, try and destroy that battering ram. And I do love the fact that the king at the end is a tank. He looks like he has like triple to quadruple the health of Gunmunda, who was the Viking hero from Test Your Metal. He has a massive health bar, and he hits like a truck. He freaking hit that water with the top unblockable in the footage I showed, and just nearly just killed him in one hit. It was crazy. It's awesome. So yeah, the siege mode overall looks amazing. I do wish it was like, you know, 6v6, just a bit more players. They have the technology now for that with dedicated servers. Okay, so I do wish it was 6v6 at the bare minimum, or even 10v10 would have been amazing. But I think right now they're really trying to stick to the 4v4 formula, and I'm not going to fault them on that. I'm just happy we got a siege mode, but I do hope in the future we get some modes with more players versing each other, because they can do it with the stability of the game being good now, in a way better place than it was when the game first launched. They can actually do a 6v6 or an 8v8 now, and I really want to see that in the future. And lastly, let's talk about the actual heroes themselves that we're going to be getting. And the first thing that came to my mind, I honestly nearly shouted out aloud, Dynasty Warriors, because it looks exactly like Dynasty Warriors, and I fucking love that game. The old Dynasty Warriors was sick. I was really hoping when they started showing it that we're going to get a character that looks a bit like Lu Bu. We didn't get that, but I still love the fact that they they look directly like they're ripped from Dynasty Warriors, and that is amazing. So first of all, let's talk about the chick with the, like, you know, hook blades things. That chick is awesome. She looks really, really good. I love the style of her armor. I love her little hook blade things, and I'm really, really hoping that she has a lot of mechanics where she can, like, you know, grapple people with their arms and stuff and throw them around, so she can have a lot of takedown moves and stuff. That'd be really, really cool to see. I don't want to see her just running around, like, you know, just cutting people. I want to see her cutting people and actually using the blades for what they're intended for. So lots of hooking people around the arms, lots of hooking people's weapons, their shields, stuff like that. I want to see those hook blades utilized. So I will be playing her. She's the one I'm second most interested in. The next one that I'm also really interested in, though, is the monk, okay? Now, you know, he's called the Shaolin guy, and he's one of those Shaolin monks, and he looks like he's going to be all about kicking people's ass with martial arts, just the clubbing people with his little bow staff stick thing. He's going to be quite fun. I really, really want to see how they go about it. I said in my video when I talked about a possible monk that's going to be lots of martial arts based, so lots of kicks, lots of punches, you know, flips over people, like slapping them in the back and stuff. Just a real skillful martial arts based playstyle with lots of punches and kicks. And they did show a bit of that in the footage, so it looks like we might be getting that sort of playstyle, which would be amazing. I can't wait to test the guy out. And then we also had the other guy with, like, you know, the Imperial guy who had all the armor. He looked absolutely gorgeous, and he had that sort of the Dao thing, however you want to say it. It was the scimitar that everyone, it's a Chinese scimitar, Falchion, whatever you want to call it. It's that type of blade. I think it's a Dao. I'm really bad with these names. I'm gonna butcher all the Chinese names. I'm sorry to all you Chinese people out there. But yeah, overall, he looks cool. And from his gameplay footage, he looks a little bit slower than I thought he would be. And apart from him being slow, he also has a few kicks that we see in the gameplay footage that I showed. So that's gonna be really cool. But yeah, I was surprised at how slow he sort of is with how he moves. So that's gonna be interesting to see how his playstyle works out with that. But he's definitely gonna be like a Vanguard type hero. And then we get to the guy that I'm most excited about, and that is that heavy, old Chinese dude. He's got the fucking Mr. Musashi mustache. It looks awesome as hell. He's got this nice clothes on, and he's got his spear. He's this big guy, and he just looks like he's gonna be fun. I like the look of him. I like the spear thing he's using. People are once again complaining because it's like it's too much like Nabushi. The weapons don't make the character. It's what they look like, so their aesthetic, what their moveset is, and of course, where their heritage is. That's what makes a hero. A guy with a sword is, no matter where you put him, if you're just going off the weapon, a guy with a sword's a guy with a sword. Okay, so the Warden and Orochi are pretty much just the same character by that logic because they both have swords. That's not how that works. But I'm happy to see this guy because he looks fucking great. He has a spear, and I want to play as an old Chinese guy. That's going to be fun. But in terms of which heroes I'm most excited for, he's number one. It's then going to be a tie between the Hookblade chick and the monk, because I really want to test out both of those. They're both on that level for me. And then although the last guy looks the best for me in terms of his armor style and everything, he's last because, you know, I was really hoping, and I said this in the trailer, I was really hoping that that was just like, you know, one weapon he had in one hand, and then he had like a shield in the other hand, maybe another weapon in the other hand, like an axe, just something else. But no, they seem to have given him only one weapon, so whatever, I'm fine with that. But he's at the bottom for me in terms of what I'm really excited to play, but at the same time, he looks the best. But the devs have listened to the community. The devs of this game, they've fucking nailed it in terms of giving us what we've been asking for ages. And if they continue to balance things the way they've been balancing things and making the game, you know, actually playable in terms of the stability and everything like they've been doing, if they keep things up like that and they release these brand new heroes and they're not broken as fuck, and they release the siege mode and it's not buggy as fuck, then they have absolutely 100% nailed it and turned this ship around. But I have faith that they're going to be bringing out these brand new heroes and they're not going to be stupidly OP, because all the previous heroes, except Shaman, that we've been getting beforehand have been pretty balanced for the most sense. They haven't been stupidly overpowered. There hasn't been another fiasco like Season 2 with the Centurion. But then again, the only other one that's comparable to that is the Shaman. But with that said, the Shaman isn't overpowered because she's just stupidly overpowered in terms of what she does. She's overpowered because she does everything really well. She's a jack of all trades and she has no weaknesses. That's always been why the Shaman has been so powerful. So as long as they bring out these heroes and they have weaknesses and they have, you know, strengths, it's going to be fine. And I have faith that they can pull this off. But that is it. Those are my thoughts on E3. The conference was awesome. The devs did amazing. And I'm going to be putting out another video as well over the next couple of days talking about what other games I'm really excited for, because a bunch of games were shown and there's a few that I'm 100% going to be playing because they look fucking amazing. So I'll be talking about the rest of the E3 games I'm excited for in the next video. But I need to get my commentary out on this and just, you know, just get my thoughts out on everything. I'm just so fucking happy. I'm just so happy, guys. This last year and a bit has been like an absolute roller coaster ride sticking with this game, and finally we're getting somewhere. Finally we're getting what we've asked for. I'm just really happy to finally see things starting to turn around and for this game to get to where it should be. But that is the end of the video, guys, so thank you so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and let me know your thoughts. I love reading and replying to all your comments down below. And feel free to check out my Discord and Twitter. There is a link down below in the description box for both of those as well. The Discord is a great way for me to talk to you guys outside the YouTube comment section. And of course, the Twitter is a great way for you guys to get a notification whenever a video is being uploaded, because YouTube is a bit weird sometimes. And if you like this video and you like what I'm doing here on the channel and you want to support the channel further, feel free to check out my Patreon. There'll be a link down below in the description box, and a link will pop up at the end of the video. And if you choose to donate, it is greatly appreciated. And a big shout out to my current patrons whose names you've been seeing in the background. Just wanted to say thank you for your support. It really does mean a lot. And please share this video around. It does help me out a fuck ton. And if you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. I shall see you all in the next video. Have a good one, guys.